Good morning. This is week 2 of Social Work 633, and week 2 the focus is on structural family therapy. So let's look at our introduction for this week. And this week we're looking at, again, structural family therapy. The founder of this system was Salvador Minuchin, who is originally from Argentina and worked for a number of years at the Philadelphia Child Guidance Clinic. So Salvador Minuchin adapted systems concepts to his work with actual families in need, looking at both the internal family system as well as the broader social systems that impact a family's functioning. The structural family therapy methods that he developed began with poor urban families, but were quickly adopted by family workers whose client families were from socioeconomic and cultural backgrounds, differing ones. Structural family therapy is used throughout the world today and is probably the best known approach for helping families that originated in the United States. Functional family therapy shares a number of the same ideas about how to best help families. The learning objectives are as follows. After completing the activities for this week, which includes the readings and the various assignments this week, you should be able to provide definitions of some key concepts in structural family therapy, to describe typical interventions used in this approach, and identify when they are used in the video of a structural family therapy session, and then to describe the major goals of a first session with a family and practice the skills required for conducting a helpful first session. So the learning resources are as follows. The readings are Minuchin, Colapinto, and Minuchin, working with families of the poor, and you're looking at chapter 3. The reading from the other text on family therapy, you're looking at chapter 6, structural family therapy. And then a reading by Weber, McGeeby, McDaniel, A Beginner's Guide to the Problem-Oriented First Family Interview. And then there are a number of additional readings that you can choose from. One is from Dr. Aponte, and since you'll be looking at a video of Dr. Aponte's, this would probably be a very helpful video to take a reading to take a look at. The website is the Minuchin Center for the Family, and you have a video that you need to look at this week. So to view the video, you're going to click on that link and then go to the library so you can log in using your library card. This is A House Divided, Structural Therapy with a Black Family by Dr. Harry Aponte. So this video will be necessary in order to complete one of the assignments for this week. So, your first discussion post is the Aponte video analysis. And you're going to do the following. Citing the Minuchin et al. And Nicholas readings, please identify 2 different structural interventions used in the video of a family session with Dr. Aponte. What is your assessment of this family structure, including an assessment of the boundaries between individuals and subsystems, which is an important concept in family structural therapy? Did you see Aponte follow the outline of a first family session as described in the Weber et al. Article? So again, you need to read that article. And if so, which of the steps did he follow? And what did he do that you could see yourself doing in a first session with a family? You're going to do your initial post on Thursday and your follow-up between Friday and Sunday. The next discussion post for this week is to look at a family case example for a first session role play, because as part of this discussion post, you will need to conduct a first family session and record that using Screencast-O-Matic. And you're going to do a 5 to 10 minute demonstration of yourself that is in 3 different segments of a first session with this family. So be sure to use the exact words that you would say to them as though they are in the room with you. So the questions to guide each of the segments are as follows. Your first segment, how would you begin the first meeting in terms of laying out the goals and structure to join with the family and gain their trust? Again, joining is another key concept in structural family therapy. The second segment, what might you say to interrupt any bickering or blaming that the parents may start to do with each other? And then the third segment, how might you end the session, including any homework that you might suggest to them to help them meet the goals that they have set for themselves. So you're going to watch this video on how to do the recording if you have not previously done a recording with Screencast-O-Matic. You're going to upload that video by Thursday, and you're going to respond to at least one other classmate between Friday and Sunday of this week. You completed in week 1 the first section of the family therapy theory grid. So now in week 2, you're going to fill out the structural column, and you're going to follow the instructions of the template. That is due by Thursday. So you will upload it, and here you see the rubric for completing that grid. This week you have an additional reading assignment, and that is a reflection paper. And you can click here to get the instructions for the reflection paper. We'll look at these briefly. So again, it is due at the end of week 2, which would be on Sunday. It's based on the article from the first week, so if you haven't read that article, you will have to go back to the assigned articles in the first week. This is the one by Russell, Gill, Coyne, and Woody that talks about students that come into the MSW program and some of the issues that those students have experienced coming into the program versus other majors. So you're going to do a short summary of the most important points in the article in your own words. If you use direct quotes, remember that you have to indicate the direct quote in quotations and also the page number that you're taking that direct quoted information from. Next is your reaction to these key points, and then your reflection on any implications that you see for social work education and working with clients. You are using citations. Again, this is an academic program, so you are always indicating reference information in terms of your paper, and here is a discussion on paraphrasing properly. And you've had other discussions on APA citation. Here is the rubric. So this is due by Sunday of week 2. And with that, those are the assignments for this week, to talk a little bit about structural family therapy. Again, I've talked about the fact that Salvador Minuchin was born in Argentina but worked in the United States at Philadelphia Child Guidance for a number of years. The assumptions with working with families using this therapeutic approach is that families do have strengths and that families are organizations. And just like all organizations, they are made up of subsystems. And these subsystems also have issues of power, hierarchy, boundaries that need to be considered if we are making changes within the family structure. A key concept in family structural therapy is the idea of joining with the family. The therapist takes on a leadership role with the family and guides the family in understanding why the interactions in that family need to be restructured, why problems are occurring, etc. Doing work with families, the therapist also often will have people role play and demonstrate some of the interactions that are occurring in the family and help them see where these issues need to be restructured. Another key concept is the discussion of boundaries, and boundaries can be a mesh, they can be weak, they can be too diffused, they can be rigid or too disengaged. And so the therapeutic intervention in terms of the therapist joining is a guide to help people see what is going on with those boundaries and why some of the interactions may be dysfunctional or producing problems with communication in the family. Another concept is around restructuring, helping people, family members with the boundary setting, helping them to reframe the situation and also challenging unproductive assumptions that are occurring in the family. So again, families have strengths. They often can find their own solutions, but in structural family therapy, the idea is that the therapist serves as the guide to help them find those solutions. With that, I look forward to reading your posts and your assignments. Again, if you have any questions, please email me as quickly as possible at the email through Outlook or at norma.thomas13@gmail.com. I will answer your questions as quickly as possible, and again, look forward to reading your posts and assignments. Thank you.